Hello, internet humans. So I basically couldn't wait a whole week to get the game done. I was kind of excited about it, and it was only a little bit left to do, so I went ahead and released Game Pack 2.0 with layer mail, including it in it. And so now the question is, what do I work on next? So this is kind of just, I'm going to be talking to myself and thinking through things. So, for instance, I want to probably make another Playdate game. I also, I want to make a console game in C++, but I'll kind of talk through it and write down ideas. So I have notes in various different books across different pages and such. This is my main project book at the moment, so let me see if I can find some of the ideas I had. Okay, so here's a set of Playdate ideas in particular that I was thinking of, and then also just projects I could do on stream at the same time. So some of the ideas were... Here, I'm going to move this a little lower down. There we go. So let's see. Playdate, C++ slash... I just want to make a console-based game that runs either with incurses or just vanilla C++ without any incurses, but with the color palette stuff. So, I worked on that game development stream here a while ago, and was working on a text adventure. I'd like to continue with that. Other. I was also thinking of some web-based games. So, for instance, my friends' kids, really like my toilet paper game, which I'll show you here. Let's see, do I just run that? Or do I just run... Was this written in Python 2, I think? I don't know. Main. Python 3 main? Okay, we're gonna try to run this instead. So anytime that I hang out with my friend who has kids, their kids want to play this, at least the younger kids, they want to compete to see who can change the toilet paper the fastest. So we need to throw this away. And then, I know how to play this game because I made it, but everything floats away from you and it's hard to do. So I don't know. I thought of maybe porting this so that it could be played on mobile as a JavaScript game. Some of the other ideas are making some Vic-20 games. Let's see, just making a MP3 player utility or just program with the ability to Lua Python script your own shuffle algorithm. Could just be little Vic-20 games. I already did Pick and Sticks. I don't know. We could do... Oops. I don't know what I did there. Rewriting my old Allegro 4 games, or, well, Linxion I don't have the source to, so I'd have to redo it from scratch. But I'd have, the art and stuff. I don't know, does anyone want Bootleg Bash? Not really. Toilet paper games, console graphics, text adventure. I was working on a Sudoku, but someone else has already made a command line Sudoku. Could also do a dungeon crawl roguelike. I did that a while ago. So that was fun, but I just never kind of finished up with it. I do have the source code for ISO World, which if you saw my Bible Man videos, especially the full one, ISO World is the engine that was made with. And I did eventually get the source code for it from the author. It's written in C++, but it has like old UI stuff, so I was thinking of reviving it and stuff. Okay, so that's some of those basics puzzle games. Make a game with click and play, like pick up really old kids game making software and work with that. So for Playdate, one of the things that was good about the Playdate game pack is it's small in a way. Like each game is pretty small, and it's good where I get interrupted a lot just by having to work. So I would put things down for a while. So I could like make a game in about a month. And that would be like, okay, this is done. Now it's part of a pack. It's, for me, like gratifying, and also I don't like get bored of an idea too much. Like I don't think I could work for 5 years on one game. Just because I get really tired of my own ideas pretty quickly. So this one, it was like I got to experiment with a lot of different gameplay styles, and so that was fun for me. I got to figure out like some optimization stuff. So for instance, like I have written Fin and Kit for the PC, the engine's all done. I just never got around to making levels for it. I guess that's another thing I could do. I could just literally go finish Fin in Kit, but I'd probably also change it from, I think, SDL to SFML. Where is it? Oh, I've also lost the source code for gift grab. So, they were all in repositories. It's just that I moved everything from Bitbucket, and I had like several Bitbuckets, and I moved things to GitLab, and in that process, I apparently like just lost that repository. We got our visual novels, which I think would be really fun to do. Visual novels. I would like to collaborate, because that is a lot of fun. I like doing like the art and the backgrounds, and then helping clean up the code and making extra systems. But you can like easily collaborate on a visual novel with someone who isn't that experienced with coding, or even if they do know how to code, it's not like intense coding where you know it's gonna like drain your energy to figure out problems. I never finished Undead Debt. I do like Mupo-Bobu. I want to develop that world to be like my world. So the idea behind this was I wanted to create a world from scratch, kind of, where we start off under the water. There's no like land masses yet. It's just life starting off underwater. The cephalopods are like the first sentient race, and so this was a game about just kind of living as a cephalopod, but I didn't really get very far in it. And so then from there, I was hoping I could like evolve the worlds. Like, so what did they do affects like all of the future stuff going forward. Yeah, and then like develop different races and stuff. So for instance, if we have a sentient bird race, or let's say lizard race. So lizard, one of the things I obsess over is like with linguistics, like a lizard only has certain mouth movements, same with like cats. So they wouldn't be making complex like English sounds. They would have a language based on what they are physically capable of doing. And that's part of with the cephalopods. They can change colors to communicate. They can, they would have like a written language where they could like write symbols, or maybe do like tentacle hand sign type things, but you're not really talking underwater. So, but I wrote a basic language where you could approximate, octopodes have like their hole on the bottom, right? I think. So you can approximate sounds based on shapes you could make like that. And then maybe in the future with other creatures, sentient creatures, they would take those approximate sound like shapes and turn that into, okay, we're to communicate, we're using this in between. I don't know. It's just I was thinking more about like the language stuff, and also how did our Earth start, and what if it evolved so that it wasn't just the monkeys who became sentient, you know? What about like other species and the history and all of that and how they interact? But that's just a thing. I'm not really sure what the gameplay for that would be like. Um, let's see. I have my zines. I guess I don't have Fend and Kit listed because it's really just not playable, but um, yeah. So, and as for Playdate, I already opened this up, but we'll here. So some of the ideas I had already written down, again, I kind of went off on a tangent, but because the game pack was really good for me, I was thinking of like what are the other kind of themes of packs I could do. Like one of the things I was thinking of is a puzzle pack because I play a lot of puzzle games. So for instance, I really like Pipe Dream. I play a lot of 2048, but I don't know what the rights are to that. I play a lot of Picross, but I know that there is a Playdate Picross type game. It's something like Sketch, Share, and I know there's a Tetris-like game. Am I on just like all Playdate games? Okay. I think Rainblocks is like a Tetris game, so like I wouldn't want to do those because I don't want to like step on any toes and like I don't know, basically make the same thing or something. Now, Rainblocks is free. I don't know if the other one was $3, so I wouldn't want to like, here's my Picross, you can play mine. But I do like playing those games. I also was playing something on Android called Elemental Blocks, which was actually a game in my car on Android Auto. And I liked it, but then I downloaded it on my phone, and you can't pay to get rid of ads, and it just always has ads. So I would play it in airplane mode. So I liked that. I like games, puzzle games, where it's not time-based, and that you can like revise your decisions so that you're eventually like you're analyzing and eventually getting to the correct answer. I do play Sudoku sometimes. So, but game like Threes stresses me out. Is it called Threes? I think it's called Threes. That stresses me out. I like Bookworm. You know, you're kind of just Candy Crush knockoff, of course. So it could be like just a puzzle pack of stuff you can quickly pick up and play. I haven't really worked on any puzzle games before, so that would also be a unique challenge for me. I kind of wonder what the level-based stuff would be like, because, for instance, Candy Crush would be level-based, but if I did, like, a Bejeweled, it's usually just, like, that instance. You just play until you go. I think Bookworm maybe, like, has increase in difficulty, but Sudoku would need level base, and then maybe Pipe Dream also. So that's for a puzzle pack. I was also thinking of a sim game pack, just because I have prototyped some stuff in the past, and I think it would also be another thing I haven't done before and would be interesting to play around with. So just very basic, not like a fully fledged Stardew Valley sort of thing, but like here's a little farming part or a mining sim. And I have made a really basic farming game, or not farming, well, I did make a really basic farming game too. So for instance, here's like an old gameplay vlog. I haven't watched these in a while, but basically I was waiting for maybe Rune Factory to release on Switch, or yeah, I had like pre-ordered it, but it wasn't available at midnight, which was annoying. So I made a really basic farming game You can kind of see it run fast, but you would plant things and they would grow. Oh, that also reminds me, online PHP games. Here, before I show that, here's like, I was working on a language game, but it was a mining game, so that was also fun to work on, and I'd like to do something more like that as well. I don't know if I can access the PHP game anymore, but I was making, I made a clicker game, like a competitive clicker game. But I was thinking of doing a farming game in PHP where like you can choose a grid tile to plant something, and then everyone would plant something, and it would eventually just grow over time. So I was thinking of that sort of thing. Let's see. Mining sim, like, I don't know, they could be separate, or maybe it could be like you walk around a little hub and you go do the different things. Let's see, what else? I also like Kairosoft games, so they're on Steam and also on phones. But they're all just like really, really basic, not very hard. Honestly, not too system heavy, casual sim games, whether it's like setting up a dungeon, a village for heroes, or creating a game studio and building games. I have Dream Home, which is like building an apartment and having people live in the apartment and make babies, and then they have babies, and then the kids grow up and go to school, and they get an apartment too, and then you just have like generations of people in these apartments. So that could be like apartment builder or whatever. I put teacher sim, but I think that would just be managing your time and then grading a bunch. So I don't know about that. Those would be a little bit more complicated, I think. Bootleg game pack and arcade game pack. So I was thinking of different themes. Puzzle, RPG, game pack, and of course some of these would be too big. Oh, for the puzzle game pack, I also put Rodents Revenge, because I haven't played that in a while. And no one really like makes Rodents Revenge style games. Bootleg game pack. Let's see. I wrote putting in Bootleg Bash, which is that old game I made. I'm too used to Emacs, so any other things, keyboard shortcuts bother me. Let's see. Bootleg Bash. Look up myself so it doesn't come up with weird things. So that had like knockoff Mario style characters. Why is my stuff so slow? So you would like fight in various places. You'd be like local keyboard playing. So I could do something like that, but you with only one person on the playdate, I'd have to figure out what else you would do with that. So Bootleg Bash. I've always wanted to make a Death Stranding like game in that you're delivering packages and navigating terrain and exploring. Not so much the online connectivity stuff. Pokemon, which actually I've been working on my public domain worlds. So if you aren't aware, I create public domain knockoffs of stuff, so I just create stuff and throw it in the public domain. So I started working on a Pokemon or Digimon kind of ripoff. I also have a Harry Potter alternative that's more queer and based in a university, and so I have like our TAs who get paid almost nothing. So I have those characters, and then I have like some magical girls type of people. So if I do any games like that, I could use these, and then everyone else can also add on and add their own creatures, use them for whatever they want. Platformer. I mean, that's very generic. Contra is what I wrote in here. Mario Kart. I mean, that would be an interesting challenge, but I don't think I would. I'm not really feeling these ideas. Arcade game pack, like having a shmup, like Radius. I've done a bunch of shmups before. Roller Beasts is another old game I prototyped. And I really liked it. It actually could work pretty good with the crank. So you'll see in here with the physics, they can spin around. So I was thinking if you do a jump, you could like use the crank to spin and do tricks and stuff. Roller Beasts. I could make a version of Gift Grab for the Playdate, which Gift Grab was written in Lua, but for Gaderos. And I know I'm pronouncing Gaderos wrong, but it provided like creating classes and stuff, so it would be different anyway. I don't know how much of the Lua code I could reuse if I did still have it, but that's an option. So for RPGs, I was thinking like making a Gauntlet 2D style game. I had started working on a conceptual kind of text adventure, kind of dungeon crawlers inspired by Shadow of Eusebius sort of thing. I started just like sketching out ideas and stuff, making mock-ups, but I did not do anything with that yet. Let's say like not Trials of Mana, kind of Secret of Mana style, but none of them would be like story heavy. It'd just be more of the gameplay part. Darkstone, Diablo style, or this could even be, what is it, the one on DS? Children of Mana? Mupoa Bopu. I don't know. So, those are some of the ideas. But I'm not feeling a whole ton of these. But let's see. Oh, some other things I was thinking about doing was like a Storybook Weaver style game. And then making that, actually I think I created a repository, but making it open source and, available for people to change. So let me see if I have Storybook Weaver. Okay, so this is a game I had when I was a kid, and you basically just can create a story. It's like a little storybook creator. Let me zoom this in. So basically, like the title page, you could set text in these. They have various borders you can use, and then they have a bunch of stamps. So you go to like another page, and all of these are like little stamps you can move around. You can change their little color palette, make her an alien. So they have like 2 sets of color palette stuff. And there's just tons of these like little pieces of art. So we, my friends and I, when we were kids, would spend a lot of time in this. So also lots of backgrounds. You can kind of mix and match different background types. They also had patterns and colors. And then they also had audio and music. So you could choose music. There's a bunch of different like little songs, MIDI songs. But basically it's just like tons of assets. Like the program itself wouldn't be too hard. It's just like you would want to put in a bunch of assets for different things people would want to do. And it's kind of weird because like you'll find a person and it's like, well, there's no other versions of this person except the skating person. Maybe you could find kind of a lookalike. This is kids. You could do every day. You could say maybe that's the same person, but the hairstyle is different. Oh, this person is maybe that person. This person is that person. So she's either a fairy or a skier. Or here's that. So you'd have all these different, like, some of them would have multiple poses. You'd have animals and stuff. You can kind of set up a little story. But I was thinking of doing an open source version of this. My sister and I were thinking of doing an open source version of like a kid pick sort of thing. And then I have my old educational games as well, like Math Kingdom Quest, which I don't know if I have in here. Yeah. So I prototyped this and I tested it out on some kid friends. I just never kind of continued on with it because I think this was 2019. Yeah. And I got a job as a software developer again. So then I worked all of the time. Yay! We got podcast ideas, Synthscape ideas. Updating my game engine more, but I don't really have anything I'm working on with that. Oh, here's another set of small game ideas. So I got Roller Beasts on there, which would be, I think, cool. I don't know if I can highlight this very well. Let's change this to blue. Or teal. So Roller Beast would be cool. It'd be fun to make another shmup. The last one I worked on was Unicorn Princess. This is going to come up with a ton of things. If I don't put my own username. Not that one. This one. So that was something I was working on 14 years ago and never finished. But it was a shmup with a unicorn versus aliens. I put delivering mail/email, and that's what became layer mail. Layer mail. Let's see. Ace Pilot, Dating Sims, Doom Scrolling Sim. Oh yeah, Load Runner and Jetpack, those are also good. Like, they're puzzle platformers. So Load Runner, like, I used to play Christmas Jetpack. So, Xmas Jetpack. I don't know if there's probably a lot of Jetpack things. So, like, here's LGR's video on it. I grew up playing this a lot, and I was bad at it as a kid, but I quite enjoyed it, and it had a level editor. Pick and Sticks Adventure, Magical Girl game, Attack of the Mutant Lawnmowers, Sheepdog. There's a Game Boy Advance game. Is it called Sheep? Is that what it's called? And you just herd the sheeps. So that one's kind of cute. That could be a good style of game. And I don't know. Games with old grannies. I don't know, man. But yeah, you guide sheepies on that one. So yeah, I don't know, that's kind of my brain thoughts. Made Bizarre, information. I liked Forspoken. I'm one of the few people who apparently liked Forspoken, but I platinumed it, and I really liked the movement, and I thought that would be cool to try to translate to 2D. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. Those are zine ideas. So, oh yeah, another thing I wanted to make a while ago was Carry A Nation's Hatchetations. So Carry A Nation was somebody who would go to various bars in Kansas and smash them up during the Prohibition. She'd use a little hatchet. So that was something I thought would be kind of cool to make, like a history game, but also an arcade game. Yeah. I have just pictures of old games that I used to play, Magical Girl games. I was working at one point on like a little faux OS for Playdate. So it wasn't like an actual OS, but it would just look kind of like an old operating system, but also have like a calculator and paint program and a file system thing. It could like show what's on the file system of the Playdate, maybe play music, have a text editor, which would be silly. Like, why would you write notes on your Playdate? image viewer, maybe a Lua table viewer, so it would like take a Lua table from wherever on your playdate and render it in a readable format. Timer, unit circle. Yes, if you need a unit circle, I could have put that in there as well. Okay. Now I could also finish Undead Dead. Oh wait, there's Fin and Kit. I wrote it in Python originally with Pygame, so that's why I didn't really want to keep working on it, because I just don't want to make big things in Python. I want to work on C++. I never finished this visual novel, but I don't know. I have more fun working on visual novels with other people. Various things. So, I don't know. What is the solution? Let's maybe rank these on what sounds like the most fun for me at the moment. So I like the idea of a little mining sim. I like these. It's always fun to... Why did the format weird? Always fun to make little shmups. A 2D style gauntlet wouldn't be too hard. Be kind of cute. Okay, I'm just gonna type these out. I don't know what's going on. I do like letter word building puzzle games and Pipe Dream. I kind of want to make a clone of like Sailor Moon Drops because that isn't available anymore. They made a Candy Crush style game with Sailor Moon theming, but it's not available anymore. That's why one of the reasons I hate mobile games. So you can unlock the different Sailor Scouts and they'd have different specials over time. And it was just like a matching gemstone game. So I was like, I could make one with my fake magical girl, my knockoff public domain magical girls. But I don't know. I'm not feeling in the mood, but it's also something I haven't done before, so it would probably be a lot of fun to do. Load Runner, Rodent's Revenge. I don't know. I'm gonna mark these as like, let's say A, B. So I'd put maybe Pipe Dream down here. Do C. Everything is fucking weird. Okay. I'll put S tier as well. Pokemon, Bootleg Bash. For these, I just don't have like a visual in my mind of how I would make that, of what I would want it to be. I do like the console text adventure quite a bit. Storybook Weaver, I'm gonna put that in B tier. Finish Fin and Kit. I don't know, I just don't want to. I mean, but it wouldn't be that hard. That could be something I do, but again, like, no one really looks at my PC games. Why would anyone play my PC games? Usually it's either just Playdate or Android stuff, so. Gift Grab Remake, I've thought about a little bit. And then Lynxion. I don't know. And oh, speaking of like unfinished games. So I started this back in 2020 or 2019, right before the pandemic, and I kind of stopped during the pandemic. So I was making a Lynxion follow-up prequel game, and also with some friends, I was working on a Rarenth puzzly game. And I don't remember how much we have done. We had stuff operational, but then I got my Playdate, or maybe the Playdate SDK came out, and I started working on that instead. So you can even see this is probably still there because I probably didn't delete it, but not doing Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. But yeah, so that could be other things. I don't know. Rarenth. New game, Linxian Cursed Castle, Linxian Remake, Rinth Remake. So, toilet paper game for, I mean, that just would take like a day. I've been meaning to do it because I told Natalie that I would do it so that she could play it anywhere. I just haven't done it yet. I do like old style dungeon crawls, and I've been playing a lot more Hades again recently. I finally got the epilogue. But I don't know. Maybe if that was specifically just, I'll put it here. Roguelike dungeon crawl. Oh yeah, I was also gonna go through here just to see what is there, because I, again, don't want to like step on any toes. I know there is a first-person dungeon crawl, yeah, like, the Eye of the Beholder sort of thing. Looks like maybe there's a virtual pet stuff. So, I don't know. Oh, is that like a... Oh, it's a like a maze making thing. It looks kind of like Pipe Dream. Don't know anything about Solitaire. Got a dungeon game. That looks interesting. I haven't like I get so focused on work and then I just don't do anything for a while. I've just been playing Hades because it's easy. It's like 20-minute runs. By the pier, so fishing games. I think I've played You Cannot Go Back. I've quote-unquote played this. So, some different things. There's factory farming. I think I played some Cat World. I downloaded that for a bit. I played some of that. Yeah, so I mean, at the same time, like whatever I make is probably, you give 5 people the same prompt and they're gonna come up with different ideas, different gameplay. So even if my gameplay is similar, it's gonna be a different experience anyway. Yeah. Queen of Minecarts. What is that? Another, like, puzzly game? Kind of action-y game? Okay. Another thing I was thinking of is, like, that TI-83 Plus puzzle pack with, like, Block Dude and that sort of thing. So, yeah. I mean, Big 20 Games just experiment with stuff, visual novels. That would be something that my cousin and I probably work on. So Rebecca and I made The Little Mermaid, the reverse mermaid one where like everything you do can cause her to die. So I did all the art for it and I thought that was fun. And then like my sister and I just helped out with some art, but she mostly did all of the art and the scripting. I did the backgrounds, I think. I think I did all the backgrounds, yeah. So that was a lot of fun also. I just really like doing that. Make time to weekly meet up with friends and make visual novels. Okay. Okay, so I kind of ordered these and put them in Emacs instead. I can make them arrows and stuff. I don't know. There. So I think I'll just end the video here because I'm going to keep an eye out for this partial eclipse that we're going to be able to see. And then I need to grade stuff. So if you have any feedback, let me know. I'm kind of open to whatever, like especially if there's a style of game that people are missing and want to see more of. So, yeah, I don't really like some of these, like, other bootleg games. If there was other game styles or game properties that haven't been done, in a while. That could be something I look at. Console in-curses games, JavaScript web-based games. I'll make my own cool math games, website, visual novels, online, and random other things. So, again, if you have any opinions, let me know what you think. Otherwise, I'll just keep brainstorming and I'll kind of try to figure out some path to go. I hit the wrong button. Okay. Bye.